Yes, yes. Once again, we are going to talk about factors influencing the location of Gauteng. We want to look at how Gauteng became to be an industrial hub. And then basically in that regard, you need to understand that SAS industrial development, we are under SAS industrial development regions in any case, ne? SAS industrial development regions. So Gauteng, also formerly known as Pretoria, Witwatersrand, Vereeniging, is South Africa's industrial heartland. We are saying is the main industrial heartland, meaning to say is the main industrial zone, industrial region. So it's a major economic hub, producing over a third of the country's GDP. So the country's GDP is largely produced in Gauteng. It is the major economic hub. So the region is characterized by a cluster of cities. I'm sure if we can remember and we can reflect to the cities of Gauteng, they are so packed together. Cluster of cities, we talk about towns, we talk about urban nodes, including Johannesburg as major ones, Pretoria, and also Vereeniging. So what we need to understand is that Gauteng is a very big province. It's a very big region. So it is actually having an interconnection of urban nodes as examples of the town that are the Pretoria, Gauteng, and Vereeniging we just mentioned here. So several factors have influenced the location of this industrial region in South Africa. Again, these include the availability of raw materials. Particularly, we talk about mineral resources such as gold. We talk about coal, as well as transportation network. Gauteng has got a good network, a good transport network in all modes of transport, both roads, air, and so forth. And then it's a large skilled labor force. There's a large skilled labor force, and its status as an economic administrative hub again. We are saying administration work also runs in what? In Gauteng. So I want us to quickly look into these factors and analyze them as we go. So first and foremost is proximity to raw materials. Proximity to raw materials. We are saying nearness. Gauteng is very close to raw materials. So we have got, for example, we talked about the gold and what and coal. So uh, the discovery of gold in the late 19th century actually made was a major uh, catalyst, was a major stimulator, was a major uh, factor causing industrial development in the region. So the presence of gold and coal deposits are both, are both vital for various industries. Many industries came as a result of gold and coal, attracting also significant investment. There was a lot of investment, which we can talk about foreign direct investment and also infrastructural development. So now, what we need to understand is that the discovery of gold is actually one of the major it's actually one of the major factors causing the development and the location of Gauteng as the main industrial region. So we need to understand again that in this regard, Gauteng, irrespective of that, it is a complex. Gauteng, Gauteng is it's complex. Exists because of favorable factors, which actually we should understand that they override or they offset the disadvantages of it being a land locked or an inland region, meaning to say that it is only surrounded by land in both sides. So now, what we need to understand is that the discovery of gold was the initial attracting feature, bringing many people to the gold fields that were discovered. So we talk about gold fields, the gold fields which were discovered, and then these gold fields, we are saying that they actually brought a lot of people which were actually like found as extensions of thick layers of gold underground. So in other words, what happens again, the discovery of gold and these ones also stimulated entrepreneurship, people who would start their own businesses, who would start to invest, who would start to identify various opportunities. Hence, we talk about it as a what? As an economic hub, whereby various industries became, were so many of them. And then, in that regard, again, the availability of gold and coal caused infrastructural development. So, in this case, we talk about the various roads, we talk about air, we talk about about rail transport. All these modes of transport, they came as a result of what? Of of discovery of gold. So now we need to understand again that with this in mind, the entrepreneurs that we are talking about also would inject a lot of monies which can come from various regions and various places, even overseas, into businesses. And also, a lot of people who came into the gold fields brought also, they also brought some essential skills also. Essential skills, essential skills also came in, or the much needed skills also came into play. And then in that regard, we also want to look into examples such as the gold seam from the road port in the west coast of Jamestown. We talk about Jamestown Gold Coast, the Jamestown Gold Coast. We also want to look at we also which extends from the Randfontein and also to Evante and to the east. So what happens again is that this caused also the conglomeration of businesses. Businesses came together, caused a agglomeration of businesses. So businesses become so interconnected, caused agglomeration of businesses where businesses become so connected, and then it also further caused the development of the region. So actually, we need to understand that population of miners who came into these were quite a lot of them who had various skills, and then all such factors would have further caused the development of the region as well. So we have got other minerals such as also have access to other minerals like iron ore, which further support industrial activities in the region again. And then well developed infrastructure, the development of infrastructure, we talk about I guess this one we have already at infrastructure, we talk about road networks. So the region boost a robust network of roads. I'm sure we have got the smartest roads. We have got so smart and beautiful roads in what? In Gauteng. We have got smart and beautiful roads, beautiful roads in Gauteng. Also, we have the railway lines, we have got the airports, which also facilitates or which are facilitating raw materials movement, finished goods, and people. So now, what we need to understand is that when it comes to transport, we need to understand and relate again points to do with which also we need to talk about uh, the railway link, which also was developed to transport machinery and also housing materials, as well as the skilled mine workers who were going there. So, in that respect, we can also identify the railway line, which also linked Kimberley and also the diamonds to Cape Town, which also has got a good influence in transport network that we are talking about in this respect. We can also look at this as another good example. And even the railway line also extending to Maputo in Mozambique, which also give a good facility and good factor in terms of this developmental issues that we are talking about. And then proximity to ports, proximity to ports. This also have the issue of the harbor, which is closer to Johannesburg, and there is a harbor which is closer to Johannesburg, closer to Joburg. So now, what does it do? It facilitates imports and also and exports, import and exports, which can also increase what are businesses. So this enhanced access to international markets, so which also facilitated the earning of foreign currency, the earning of foreign currency, which is foreign money necessary for that is necessary uh, for what for further injection into business. So all these factors are also very important in terms of these access to raw materials and so forth in terms of the development. So we can also talk about in terms of the recent developments, such as we talk about in terms of the rail line, the how train. In terms of the railway line, we can also talk about the how train, which is also a recent development. The how train between the central Johannesburg and OR Tambo Airport. It also facilitated further developments in terms of business in Johannesburg. And then I'm sure you know the other innovation again, which we can also identify as the refurbishment of the toll road system that has been just completed around Witwatersrand, and then innovation uh, in the rollout of Rea Vaya is also a rapid bus link to the north and south of Johannesburg, north and southwest of Johannesburg, also that helps to reduce traffic congestion and also increasing the business efficiency, and also boosting the morality and motivation of investors into the region. In terms of the skilled labor force is the idea that the skilled labor force Gauteng, what happens again is we said there is large population which also had a lot of skilled and also semi-skilled people who actually also inject skills, inject important skilled, inject very important skills. They inject very important skills in the region, skills within the region, which are very important. Expertise was also readily available in terms of further development and expansion of the region. So all these factors, we cannot override them, and we cannot just take them for granted, because remember that Gauteng has got access to international labor force. As you know, man, to say that there is quite a lot of migrant workers who also have their destination in South Africa via also OR Tambo. So it has got a very important supply of labor force that is quite experienced and educated to improve and run businesses in the region. So education and training, Gauteng has a concentration of very many universities. We talk about technical colleges and training institutions that also provide a large pool of skilled and educated workforce, which are also boosting in terms of the business, in terms of the investment, and also in terms of uh, quite important skills that are scarce and reliable and needed in terms of business growth. The region's large population ensures availability of both skilled and unskilled labor force. We talked about that both nationally. We can talk about national and also and international. National and international. All of them, they are quite very important factors that we need to look at. And then economic and administrative hub, Johannesburg also has got the financial and business. It's also seen as the financial and business center, which we can talk about the economic administrative heart of South Africa, which hosts many financial institutions and government offices as well as corporate headquarters. I'm sure this we can understand. We have got financial institutions such as the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We talk about major government offices that are also found within the region, including even headquarters of many other multinational companies that are very influential and very important in this respect. And then access to markets, which is also the concentration of businesses and large consumer markets attract industries seeking proximity to both suppliers and customers. So businesses go to Johannesburg, they go to Gauteng because of rate of market, because because of rate market that is available there. So the rate market actually gives businesses confidence in investment. They know that they can be able to make a lot of economic profit because they have got a reliable market, they have got a good consumer base, and also all those other relative factors. Consumer base is quite big enough to support their businesses. We talk about sufficient water and electricity is other factors that we can talk about in that regard. Uh, it has got sufficient access to water, relatively cheap electricity, with large power stations and coal mines that are nearby. We talked about the coal mines that are also in Johannesburg. In terms of the cheapness of the electricity, it helps industrial expansion. It helps industrial expansion and growth. It helps industrial expansion and growth, which are very important factors also in terms of business. Sufficient water is also important for every other domestic and also industrial use, domestic and industrial purposes. Domestic and industrial purposes, they are quite good, important factors. And then Gauteng also is actually situated on a relatively flat land, which is a very important factor in terms of industrialization, in terms of in terms of in terms of urbanization, buildings and construction can take place. Construction is quite easy and not construction is quite easy and cheap because the land is stable, the land is strong enough, so it is making cheaper for businesses to construct industrial facilities. And then we need to understand that if urbanization can be well done and can be done without any hassle, businesses can also be able to further explore and grow within the region. So these factors have also contributed to PWV region's dominance as a core industrial area in South Africa, which attracts many investment and also economic growth. So we can as well want to look at main industrial activities in Gauteng. They are centered around manufacturing. We have got financing, we have got mining, and also transportation, which we have talked about as main other factor because of the good infrastructural network that is there. So it's the economic powers of South Africa with diverse range of industries contributing to our GDP as we talked about. So now in terms of manufacturing, we can want to look at it is actually Gauteng that boosts a large manufacturing sector in the country, with almost half of the country's factories located within its borders. So key industries include, we have got iron and steel there, we have got chemicals, we have got food industries, machinery, vehicle parts, we have got electrical equipment, and the province also run a growing presence in high-tech manufacturing, particularly in the information and technology as well as telecommunication systems. These are quite important factors that we cannot forget. So the main services that are there, we can see that they are quite very important. They are quite very influential. So now, industrial activities that we cannot also forget is that, as you can see, we are saying financial services. Gauteng is a financial hub of South Africa, with Johannesburg being home to the JSE, Johannesburg Stock Exchange market, which is the largest stock exchange in Africa. Actually, the province hosts many numerous other financial institutions and businesses. So these ones, the JSE, it gives opportunities for investment. It gives opportunities for investment. It also gives opportunities for selling of shares, businesses meeting and collaborating, sharing ideas, and all other important financial and economic activities. They are done through the JSE, minerals, and so forth. They are so through that. So the province actually hosts a numerous other financial institutions and businesses, which we cannot forget. And then if you look at this one in terms of the iron and steel, you also need to understand that we have got many of the mines which are actually running through gold and making the province very profitable. And then we also want to look at the iron and steel that are located in Pretoria and also Vereeniging, which are under the control of the parastatal previously or the government. So now they actually have large plants that were somehow privatized around the 1989, and then they nearly produce all the South African iron and steel, which are quite important in terms of construction, in terms of industries, and so forth. So we cannot override that. Mining it has decreased its contribution to the provincial economy. However, it remains a significant activity, particularly in western part of the province. Gauteng is known for its gold, diamond, and coal mines. We also have platinum deposits and chromite, as well as iron ore, which are all very important in terms of financing, in terms of financing other businesses, other business functions. Other business functions can be financed because of the riches and finances being made from what? From mines. Transportation class. In terms of transportation, Gauteng's strategic location and well-developed infrastructure make it a major transportation hub for Africa. We have got major transport routes that runs across Gauteng. We also talk about the vast roads and railway network, two major airports, the OR Tambo and then the Lanseria, and also the deep sea container terminal, which is the largest dry port in the world. This we also even give the extension of N1 roads, which runs to international entry points into the country, facilitating also trade and business across the country. So now what we need to understand is that The ports, the airports are very important also. Tourists, every other international and local business functions that need to be done are efficiently executed because of such facilities. So other key industries are also in the sector, which include trade. We talk about trade, catering, accommodation, government services, and personal services. The province also has a growing industry, creative industry sector, particularly in film and advertising. We are talking about fourth industrial revolution businesses, talking about information technology, which are actually trending and in boosting many economies. So advertising and film businesses are quite running and flourishing, which are very important in other ways. So what we need to understand is that these are the major factors that also contributed towards the growth and establishment of Gauteng as a main province. We have got also as a main industrial region. I'm sure, as just to add on, we have got other businesses such as explosives, which also forms part of this. The explosives, we can talk about the AE and I. Uh, the explosives we are saying AE and CI, uh, which we are saying, which we need to understand that is the biggest explosive plant in the southern hemisphere, which is the biggest in southern hemisphere. uh, Biggest plant in southern hemisphere, which is also supplies, which actually it supplies most of the mines in South Africa. All mines depend on them. Most or most of the mines, they also depend on these explosives that are produced there. We can also talk about also the issue to do with what is this with glass. Is glass also another business that also runs in Gauteng? Glassy, e.g., the Control Glass Factory. Control Glass Factory is also one of those ones, which is also found in Watville. I'm sure this you can understand that is largest also in South Africa, largest in SA as well. So we might not need to override all these other important businesses that are there. And last but not least is the aviation, the chemical industries and aviation. Let me just list them in passing. We have got what is it? We can talk about the Daniel. It is the aviation which we are saying that was originally known as the Atlas Corporation, formerly known as Atlas Corporation. The Atlas Corporation, and then it is the only industry of its own type in South Africa. It does maintenance on aircraft, which maintains, we're saying, maintenance of aircraft. It does maintenance of aircraft, maintenance of aircraft. We can also talk about of the South African military services, craft of SA military services, also and also external aircraft companies, and other companies. So these are also very important businesses that we can talk about. I said chemical industries as the last one. Chemical industries. The chemical industries, we want to talk about fertilizers. Talk about fertilizers. In terms of the fertilizers, we have got also pharmaceuticals. Uh, Fertilizers, we talk about the pharmaceuticals. And also other various chemical industries, which also become an extension of the mother fontaine, of this mother fontaine plant. So we cannot forget, lastly, the Sisal, the Sasol, the Sasol oil and petrol. Made from coal, as examples that we can as well add in that one. It is one of the biggest and most advanced plant of its type in the world that is found in also in Gauteng. One of the biggest type in the world, biggest size and type in the world of its own type. So class, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you can see the factors that have facilitated the growth of Gauteng PWV as a main industrial hub in South Africa, and also major activities, business activities that are taking place there, further supporting the expansion of the province. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you are going to get a good time with the channel and all the necessary coachings and information until we meet again in the next video. Please keep connected so that we cannot miss any post main updates. Turn on your notification button and share to friends and family. Thank you very much once again. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a beautiful stay. Thank you.